Even for the wealthiest people, some purchases are pleasures. The world's elite buy extravagantly expensive items, from skyscraper homes to priceless works of art, to indulge their passions, flaunt their wealth, or simply spend the money because they can. The extravagant purchases made by the richest people in the world are always fascinating, whether it's the most pricey item they own or simply the most exotic. So, in this video, we are going to talk about the insane things the rich do with their money. Number 1. Get some really weird art. People with money tend to collect works of art. What additional artwork will you hang on your wall? A nice Renoir or Matisse is likely to be a wise investment. And, as an added bonus, it can hide all the holes in your wall. But it can be a little bit trickier if you choose modern art. Consider Steve Cohen as an example. The Physical Impossibility of Death in the Mind of Someone Living by Damien Hirst was purchased by the hedge fund manager, who has an estimated net worth of $11 billion. The artwork is a 14-foot tiger shark in a formaldehyde tank, so the title doesn't quite capture its sheer scale. The installation piece is essentially a massive fish tank in which a stuffed shark is suspended with its mouth open, appearing to be searching for its next meal. Charles Saatchi commissioned the work, which he later sold to Cohen for an undisclosed sum that is thought to be between $8 and $12 million. You would need a sizable living room because the piece, which is 17 feet long and 7 feet wide, needs to be accessible from all sides in order to be displayed to the best of its ability. Number 2. Wear a gold shirt. Some individuals prefer to keep their funds in banks. Some invest it, and some even conceal their cash under a mattress. And some individuals choose to wear it. While purchasing pricey jewelry is common, Data Fuge decided to take things a step further by having a shirt made of 14,000 links of 22-karat gold. He then accessorized the shirt with massive gold chains and wrist cuffs. The shirt alone weighed more than 10 pounds and was worth $250,000 in total. Fuge, who enjoyed the nickname the Gold Man, was a moneylender from the state of Maharashtra in India and was often seen wearing the shirt when going about his business of lending money to poor people. Fuge was murdered by 12 attackers in 2016. Police guessed that a disagreement over money might have been the cause. Number 3. Buy a cupboard. You might want a nice piece of furniture to make a statement when furnishing your home. Naturally, your statement piece will be a very large statement if you are extremely wealthy. Even an expensive cupboard wouldn't normally be considered to be overly extravagant. But if you bought the badminton cabinet, it most definitely would. The cabinet went for $36 million to a private bidder in 2004. The 18th century Florentine chest was made from the finest ebony and inlaid with amethyst, agates, and lapis lazuli. Number 4. Build a model boat. Many young boys construct model boats. They receive a plastic kit and a sizable tube of glue, and, with any luck, the finished product floats. But if you're a billionaire, that seems kind of tame. When Australian billionaire Clive Palmer made the decision to construct a model, he went with a real, functional replica of the Titanic. Not only would it be a life-size replica of the tragic ship, but it would also be an exact replica. Palmer insisted of keeping every aspect of it true to life. There have been several roadblocks in the construction of Titanic 2. It was anticipated to be finished in 2016. The $700 million project briefly ran out of funds. But in 2018, construction resumed after Palmer discovered an additional $150 million down the sofa. It is uncertain whether the project will actually be completed. After all, despite being the pinnacle of luxury in 1912, the ship would not meet today's standards for some essential amenities. Internet and television, for instance. Additionally, passengers paying thousands of dollars to cruise the Atlantic might not find those third-class cabins to be very appealing. For now, Clive Palmer seems happy with planning and building his ship. No doubt he learned the lessons that all little boys learn. Building the boat is much more fun than sailing it afterwards. Number 5. Write your name in the sand. The cost of a day at the beach is typically not too high. You can pass the time for free while having hours of fun with some sandwiches and a bucket and spade. You can go swimming, canoeing, tanning, building sandcastles, or maybe even writing your name with a stick in the sand. But in 2011, Hamad bin Hamdan Al Nahyan decided that a stick just wouldn't cut it when he went to the beach. He was going to use something a little better than a stick if he was going to make the effort to write his name in the sand. And he was obviously not going to carve it himself. Fortunately for the local ecology, Hamad bin Hamdan Al Nahyan chose to have only his first name carved into the sand in letters that could be seen from space. On his private island, the name stretched over 2 miles of beach, with each letter measuring half a mile tall. In fact, the word was visible from space. However, the mechanical excavators the Saudi prince used had to delve quite far into the sand in order to be visible from such a distance. They were so deep, in fact, that they created canals. Water would flow from letter to letter as the tide came in, similar to a pricey water feature. Number 6. Smuggle a stolen dinosaur. It's a common pastime to collect fossils. Furthermore, who wouldn't want their own dinosaur after watching Jurassic Park? After all, the possibilities are endless if you had a T-Rex skeleton, a lot of money, and some spare time. It is unknown if Nicolas Cage actually intended to create his own Jurassic Park when he purchased a Tyrannosaurus skull. Maybe all he wanted was something to put in his den. Whatever the case, he outbid Leonardo DiCaprio to obtain the skull by paying $276,000 for it. Unluckily, it turned out that Mongolia had been the dinosaur's original owner, and Mongolia was furious. Paleontologist Eric Prokopi, who it turns out was more of a smuggler than a scientist, sold dinosaur artifacts to the gallery that ultimately sold the piece. Although neither the gallery nor Nicolas Cage were found to be at fault, Cage was required to return the skull he had purchased, and Prokopi was sentenced to 3 months in jail. Cage had been given a certificate of authenticity with his purchase. Number 7. Fly first class with your hat. Most people simply have to put up with the travel hassles, but the wealthy have options. If you are Bono, for example, you could purchase a second seat in first class and claim that you did so for your hat. According to Bono, his hats have achieved iconic status and are well known. When he once left his hat behind on a trip, he paid £1,000 to have it flown out to him, before being picked up by a chauffeur and driven to an Italian concert hall, where Bono was performing in a benefit concert to raise money for homeless Iraqis. The hat was given its own seat in the cockpit. Usually, but then again, if he can't fly by private plane, he buys the hat its own seat so that he doesn't have to interact with people. So that's the end of the video. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and press the notification bell so you never miss out on our next videos. Until the next video, take care.